Are you sure you guys done this before?
We trying out here. Welcome to Nexus Edge for the second time, where this is the show that'll help you get an edge on your competition. I'm, of course, Turd Herder, and I am your esteemed host of Nexus Edge. This is, of course, the Season 8, Episode 2 for Nexus Edge, and we're coming to you live, of course, as you all know, on this Wednesday night. We're going to do a Week 1 recap. So hopefully you're all ready for our insights and opinions. We're joined by some extra special guests today. So let's get right into it. So starting from I guess for me it's going to be top left here. It's TT Porky joining us from Regen. What's going on, man?
What's up? I'm Porky. I've been a 2-time HGC Open player. Got third both times I've played in Heroes Hype on Storm League Crusaders with some of the boys from Regen, and I'm here to give you my analysis.
He's going to give you the actual edge of your competition. We've all been trying for years.
Mm-hmm. This
is the guy.
Until you make it, you know.
Yeah. Of course, we're joined again for the first time this season, but of course, never missed. It's Mr. Ziltoid. What's going on, buddy?
Happy to be back.
Awesome. Happy to have you. And of course, our regular panelist / backup host, Slexy. You're all the way over there.
Slexy is here. Yes, what's up? Thank you. Welcome, everyone, to episode 2. What is up? Look at Porky. He exists. He's not just a keyboard warrior. He has a face and a breathing body right here on your screens. I was surprised. I was very surprised.
And actually, we saw him without sunglasses, but he looks mighty fine with them, so it's great. And of course, today, you might notice we're in like a little bit of a weird format here. We've been joined for an extra special take by our buddy Munkus. He's an analyst in NGS here, and he's going to give us a little bit of a breakdown on what to expect next week with Deathwing. Of course, Deathwing came live last Tuesday, so right before we went live here on the show. But of course, he won't be legal in NGS till next week. So we thought it was a good time for a little breakdown on what to maybe expect going into your next week matches. So without further ado, Munkus, take it away. Tell us what we should know, man.
All right. First, I'm going to give a couple of things that people might not know about Deathwing. First, auto attack weaving. Like a lot of heroes, you can get the most out of Deathwing by weaving your auto attacks in with your QWE moves. I know in particular when you're in his melee stance, you have just enough time to hit W and then melee somebody and then hit W to get maximum DPS coming out. And likewise, it's also important to know what stance you need to be in at any particular time. The range stance gives you a lot more crowd control options and can be really useful to help people get set up or to follow through on other people's CC, whereas the melee option is by far the higher DPS option straight up because you can weave your W's in and get in your melee attacks back and forth with that. And the Q is always available. Also, be sure to use Deathwing's huge hitbox to your advantage. You can really keep people from being able to leave a fight just by managing his huge fat butt.
It's also, like in real life. So
exactly, and Deathwing cannot be interrupted at all once he's and he cannot stop it once he starts channeling his flight. You just need that 4 seconds of no button presses and being out of combat, and once you hit Z, then he is taking off to the skies. And the last little bit of general facts is that percent damage is not the auto win button that everybody thought it would be against Deathwing. What does counter Deathwing hard is Greymane's Cursed Bullet. Deathwing has a huge telegraphed approach whenever he lands from his flight, and in fact, Cursed Bullet is a shorter cooldown than his flight is. So Greymane can essentially make it so that Deathwing never has more than 60% health during any engagement, as long as he can land that very easy to land initial curse bullet. The other heroes have the issue that Deathwing can almost always just walk away from them, and guys like Tychus have to keep auto attacking him, and it gets to a point where you can't safely chase him down through the entire back line of a team in order to kill Deathwing. And from that, I think that there's going to be I think Deathwing's going to be hugely impactful. I think the biggest impact is that if you want to pick Deathwing on your team, you're going to want to pick Greymane first, because Greymane is such a hard counter to him.
Yeah.
But the other interesting thing is, where is Deathwing going to play, or what role is he going to play on your team? Is he going to be part of the 4-man? Is he going to be your mage? Because he can put out so much damage with his Q build. It is absolutely absurd. If you get caught in just a second or two of that Q, you are essentially out of the fight. But going the Q build plays a lot differently and uses a lot different ways to engage than his solo lane build, which has generally focuses more on that wave clear options that he has and the ability to keep himself sustained. Personally, I think that Deathwing works best in his Q build form, where he just does a ton of damage by making sure that he is near 75% or more on his energy stacks and just following up people's CC. If you have somebody stunned for a second, then Deathwing can follow that up really easily with an absolute murder with his Q shot at them. And all of those Q talents each build off the other one in succession. None of the other talents that are focused on the other abilities that he has have that quite same multiplicative effect. His Q build, or his Q talent at 4 benefits his Q talent at 13, benefits it at 16. Finally, I think that the last question about Deathwing is, what ult are you going to take? Because obviously you have the one option always available to you, Cataclysm. But do you want to improve Cataclysm, or do you want to go with that extra CC? Now, after some experimentation, one thing that I found out is that huge telegraph, plus the fact that you have to be right up in the faces of people, make that bellowing roar not nearly as useful as it seemed like it was on paper. Whereas increasing the damage of Cataclysm by, I think it's 150%, to the damage and the DOT effect is enormous, especially when you consider the fact that it can, with the reset on buildings going down, that counts for anywhere on the map. You can have a building die in top lane while you're bottom lane. You use R, building goes down top lane. You use R again, take down the building in bottom lane, and use R a third time. I've had 3 or 4 back-to-back Cataclysms go off in a row because building went down, building went down, building went down, building went down. And it is utterly devastating to play against on a map like Cursed Hollow when one building goes down, they all start going down.
Yeah, right.
I feel like something like that would be good in towers.
Yeah, and on towers, towers is a little bit different because of those cramped spaces. That bellowing roar can be very useful there to get people to back off and get forced into those tight spaces. But I would still go Cataclysm there because if you are able to get that one or the Cataclysm upgrade, because you get that one building down, that just snowballs and you can wipe the entire team. And finally, the level 20 upgrade to that Cataclysm ult means that it's out for an extra 150% timer on the DOT effect. That's a huge amount of denial in an area, and it's, I think, it's 60% slow per tick. It's enormous. And yeah, that's my Deathwing.
Perfect. Alrighty. Hey, I think that was pretty good. I I don't know about you guys. I feel pretty well informed. I feel like I'm ready to take to the skies and cause a little cataclysm, you know? I'm just memeing a little bit. Hey, Monkus. I
just imagined you physically taking to the skies. Sorry.
Well, we were just talking about my fat butt, so yes, I will do that. Anyways, Monkus, we really, really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for taking the time to not only play Deathwing, but analyze them to such an extent that you can come on the show, and hopefully we learned a couple things or two.
I'm glad I could help, and it's my pleasure to come on down and stop on by.
Absolutely. Thanks again, man. And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much. I hope to be back soon.
Adios. Alrighty, guys, moving right along. Before I begin, real quick, PM Zig Price, I hope I said that right. Thank you very much for the subscription. That, of course, goes to support Nexus Gaming Series. Hopefully starts a little bit of a chain reaction here. We get some other people to get some subscriptions, you know? Maybe just an idea, guys. just thinking out loud here. But hey, I know what you're all here for, all 60 or so people. It's time for the NGS Power Rankings! Come on, don't laugh. It takes it all away.
So giggly. That emote from Pots cracked me up.
I try so hard to be so serious on this show. And here it is, Lexia laughing. Anyways, guys, yes, of course, it's the power rankings. This is a subjective ranking of all of the teams in each division as provided to you by our analysts and our panelists. In the case of the first one that we have coming up, Heroic, coming to you by Mr. TT Porky. So why don't you give it to him hot, baby?
Ooh, I'm ready to give it to him hot.
Well, I don't want it cold.
Oh, yeah, obviously. So, is the rankings up yet?
Yeah, it should be up.
Okay.
So, it looks like they're chitter-chattering. So it should be up when you are ready, sir.
Okay. I'm ready, so I'll just start now.
Good.
At number 10, I have Phoenix Rising Topaz. Sky 5 beat them in a 2-0 in last week, and I think Ryokai's original assessment of them was fairly accurate. So moving
but Bernie Byrne is on the team. Sorry, I just found out, and I was
you
like,
have
"Wait,
time
they
for rebuttals after
Slexia." Yeah, rebuttals are next.
I just found out, and I was like, "Bernie wins. He's the best healer."
Guys, I'm going to cut you off. Ziltoid, thank you very much for your subscription, sir. Of course, you know what? I'm going to give you a little thank. Thanks, haha, for the... Oh, I got haha think. Oh, man, you subscribed and I got something. Nice. Sorry, continue. I didn't mean to cut you off for the memes.
So then at number 9, we have Sky 5. So the reason I moved Sky 5 down 2 ranks is because I don't think Ryokai correctly... I guess the word I want to use is an analyzed TTW. I think TTW is stronger than them, and I think that's the only reason I would move Sky 5 down. I liked what Sky 5 is doing. They have an interesting way of drafting, and I always like interesting ways of drafting. I get to learn new things and experience new comps, so that's always fun.
And then, so you basically swapped Sky 5 and TTW?
Yeah, basically. So then at number 8, I have World Hunger Avoidance Team. They lost last week in a 0-2 by TTW, and that's the reason I moved them up above World Hunger Avoidance Team.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, and then at number 6, I have Archon. So I think Archon is a pretty good team, but I had to move them down 1 to make room for another team, which would be number 5 which is Rewind. I had the pleasure of playing against Rewind last week in NGS. I really like them. I love Ryokai, but I think he rated himself too highly at number 2, obviously. So that's why I moved.
To be fair, he did say, I might be biased, but and then put them at number 2.
Well, yeah, that's why I've got to.
You got to put them down. You might be
I have to put them down.
I got you. All right, continue on.
Okay, and then at number 4, we have chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets has been a real surprise to me. I really did not think that they would be able to take as many victories as they have. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a reason that chicken nuggets are at number 4 and Rewind's at number 5. So
I don't know what you would be referring to.
Yeah, I don't take anything from that. And they also defeated Anti-Clan Association in week 1, but Anti-Clan Association was playing with 3 subs due to some
issues.
Just some issues, yeah. We won't go too deep into that. We're here to give you power rankings.
There you go.
So let's get into more power with number 2 being
I see
Regen.
what you did there. I see what you did.
Being who? Number 2's who?
Regen.
I don't know who that is.
My own team. Shout outs to Lupus in chat. I love you.
Yeah, okay. I did see him. Yeah.
I had to put my team over Ryokai's, obviously, since we won against them last week. There's no questioning in that. And then at number 1, we have Perfect Gems. No qualms there. They're a great team. Some of them have even taken games off Team Freedom and Heroes Hype. I love those guys. I think they're very strong players.
Very nice. Is that it then? You got everything?
Yeah, I think I got everything.
All right, Slexia, I heard a little bit of a rumbling of a rebuttal. Is that true? Do you got something to say here about these power rankings?
Well, I just found out that Bernie Byrne, former Nobo Esprouts player, is on Phoenix Rising Topaz, and pretty sure he was like the top healer in at least Div A for a long time. So I'm just curious to see what his stats are. I have a soft spot for Bernie.
So would you think that the roster addition of Bernie Byrne on Phoenix Topaz is going to maybe raise their stock up a little bit?
No.
So they're
wow.
So they're just going to stay right at the bottom. Okay.
No, maybe. I don't know. I think Sky 5 has to find their bearings in Heroic, but I have faith in them. That's
gotcha. What about you, Ziltoid? You got anything to say about these?
It's early in the season. It's really hard to 100% know how everything is.
Right.
I think can expect changes.
Right.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I completely forgot about Anti-Clan Association.
I was looking at the thing, but I was holding down my push to talk, and it was typing.
I'm sorry. I completely forgot to rank Anti-Clan Association.
Yeah.
So
you did?
Let's talk about. Yeah, I skipped over Anti-Clan Association.
They're rank 3.
Yeah, I know, but I skipped over them.
He just didn't talk about it.
I didn't talk about them.
Continue.
Saying. Moving on. I'm kidding.
So, Anti-Clan Association, as everybody knows, they were the first team to win the DivS qualifier over Perfect Gems. I love them. I think 3 out of 5 of them are the old Keanu Reeves roster, which is the team I played with last NGS season. I love all of them. I love Vince, Abides, Kelsier. Love you guys. And I think they're just a really strong team, and they're somebody to look out for.
Very nice. All right, I think that's it. Let's move on to A, and I think A is going to be presented by you, Ziltoid, right?
Oh, I thought I was doing A.
Go ahead.
Slexia, are you doing C or A? I thought you were doing C.
Doing A.
Arthanow's typing.
Do both. I mean, I'm going to be doing B and.
I'm doing A.
Really matter.
Arthanow said
I'm doing C.
A.
Okay.
I'm doing A.
You're doing A. Ah, great. Okay. We're going to blame Arthanow on this one, even though that was probably my fault. So
that's why I ask so many questions, so I can make sure I know what the hell is going on. All right, so Division A. Oh, sorry?
Yes.
Rip?
No, go ahead. All you. Show is yours.
Okay, cool. Let's get into it. I kind of wanted to, before going, are we only doing power rankings, or can I talk about stats of the Storm at all?
No, yes, please. Do it.
Okay. That wasn't an answer. Yes, power rankings are fine. But I want to talk about the most played heroes when we look at Division A, and Key provided this data. So Greymane has been played 7 times, Garrosh 5, Junkrat 4, Lucio 4, Anduin 3, and at the bottom, Johanna 3. I just found that Div A had some interesting changes in comparison to like most played heroes and heroic, which is, who do you think? Come on, tell me, Porky, who do you think is the most played hero?
I don't think.
Who is it?
I have no idea. You're
Deathwing. They're all just playing
Uther.
Uther.
Most played hero.
How is Uther?
Isn't there a team called Main Tank Uther?
There is in Division A,
and we'll get to that.
Hey,
when
real
I
quick,
give you the power rankings. What?
Shout out! Thank you, Gravesville, for the 15 people raid. That's awesome, man.
Yes,
hope you had a good cast. And for those tuning in, welcome to Nexus Edge. We're doing a Division A recap, so Slexi's going to bust it down for us.
I'm busting it out and
busting
down.
It out. Busting
it
down.
So I think it's interesting that Greymane is the most played. The most banned is Sylvanas and Johanna next, which is why I'm assuming that's why Johanna's at the bottom of the list with being not the most played. But I just think it's interesting. The stats here also show me who has had the most kills and takedowns, as well as highest average takedowns. I'm just going to breeze through the top 3 in the most kills. Mega Muffin with 25, E Bagatron with 17, and Brett Michaels with 13. And then I want to talk about the highest average healing. Freckle Pants with 83,000, Wesgra with 72, and R275 Delta with 60K. So that's crazy that there's such a gap from the highest down there to the lowest. I'm sure you guys are wondering, where's Porky on this list for heroic? And since he didn't have those stats pulled up, why don't I share that with you as an added bonus, a little delightful morsel for the viewers. So he's actually at the top of highest average healing for heroic division.
And with his glasses and that smirk, it's just like perfect.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I know.
At the top with 59K, 59,283. Right beneath him is literally, who do you think? It's who do you think? So with 58.9, I just think it's interesting to see those numbers and watch them evolve throughout the season. So let us know in Edge questions, if there's any particular set of data that you would like us to share. I think it's cool to add some player names into these power rankings because it can impact where the teams are in their rankings. Obviously, if you see the top 3 in all of the metrics measured from one team, I mean, it makes sense, but there could be that one player, like let's say Bernie Byrne, let's say he were on here at top, like maybe he could carry and impact that team to move up. It's all speculation at this point because we're only in like the second week. But anyway, let's get into the power rankings and I'll stop talking about metrics. So
I want completely subjective ideas of who is going to do well.
Let's stop talking about actual facts here. Let's get into speculation and
mystery,
drama. I don't know, mystery. So we'll start from the bottom. Porky created this trend. Hold on, I'm just looking at chat. Perfect. All right. So in number 13, we have Minion Miners. So they did have a loss against Wholesome Halfwits. They were 2-0'd by Wholesome Halfwits. And so that's pretty much it. 12 is Phoenix Rising Diamond. They can bounce back, though. They did lose against a strong team, which was Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. So we'll see where they go. Tickle Me Tassadar at number 11, which looks like they moved up a bit in ranking from their initial spot at number 12. Dread Pirates moved all the way down to number 10, though.
Spicy.
Because they had a bye the first week. And this is the note here, they drop until we see results. So they only moved down 6 points because there's literally no data at this point. Terry's crew, also moving down 6 points to rank 9. And yeah, moving on to 8, we have Region Retro, who has just maintained that 8th hand there. What's in chat? Pre-D running like 3 subs on Friday. Pepe hands.
Oh, Phoenix Rising.
Okay.
Emerald.
I'm sorry.
Indeed.
We don't know these newfangled things. You've got to be very. I don't know what that means. Pre-D. What is that? Anyway. All right. Moving on. Number 7. Goodbye Forever. Number 6. Beast Coast. Moving up 4 ranks. So looks like they're just strong right now. They did it. They had a 2-1 versus Virtual Murky Slayers. Nice. All right. Main Tank Uther at number 5, moving up 8 points, and Wholesome Halfwits at number 4. Here's where the real drama comes in. Virtual Murky Slayers now at rank 3. Down from rank 1 in the predictions, in the power rankings. Team Happy Cloud at number 2 and Deathwing's Hookah Lounge at number 1. So that's Div A. And, if you have a problem, take it up with Mongoose, who actually put these together.
This was Ryokai.
Oh, my bad, Rip. I am never sure whose notes I'm reading at this point.
Not a problem. Yeah, no, Ryokai was reporting a couple big changes. Team Happy Cloud obviously moving up, 5 there? And then Main Tank Uther going up 8. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening here. But I don't know. I think the most exciting thing to me is looking at the stats of the Storm. And so... yeah, I'm also excited to see how these matches turn out. I think Weenus is casting Deathwing's Hookah Lounge tonight.
Very nice.
Or he's casting Perfect Gems versus...
Yeah, he's casting Perfect Gems.
Yeah, he's casting Perfect Gems, I believe, with Mark Zombie. Never mind. Why is Deathwing's Hookah Lounge so familiar right now? Anyway, that's my own personal struggle as I try to figure that out. Thanks for giving me Div A to talk about, Miss Div A.
Well, I don't have anything to talk about Div A. Porky, I don't think you have anything to talk about Div A, do you?
No, I think this is pretty good.
All right. What about you, Ziltoid? I know you said you mostly agreed with Ryokai's positions. What would you maybe have done a little bit differently?
I mean, I actually agree with most of it, across the board. The one thing that I wasn't quite sure about was kind of the Virtual Murky Slayer kind of ranking due to the fact that they lost to kind of the lower ranked teams. But you got to remember that this is still it's very preliminary. These are all kind of guesses at the beginning of the season.
Right.
We're not going to really have a clear picture of where everyone belongs until we kind of get a little bit, 4, 5, 6 games in, truly. So, I understand that I think MTU was underestimated coming into this, and they definitely proved that was the case, taking out a stronger team. And of course, I think Ryokai was undercutting Beast Coast potential in Division A as well. So both those teams have had really good runs through B Division. So we'll see if that starts to translate as we get more games in. But that's pretty much it.
Really quick, I just wanted to say that the reason that Deathwing's Hookah Lounge is so familiar is because that's actually... They are playing Minion Miners tomorrow for the game of the week that Murda and I will be casting. So that's why their name was like, why is that familiar? That'll be the game of the week.
I was going to plug them later. Not a big deal, but yeah, that is exactly...
them more than once.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I know Murda plugged it in the chat too. We're just plugging everywhere.
Plug it away.
Yeah. Alrighty, I think with that then, we're good to go. Let us move on to Division B. Ziltoid, break it down.
So I'm going to start with B West tonight, just to throw things in a loop.
You're going to really throw off Arthenau.
Always seems so important, so I'm going to give West a bone.
He says, gosh darn it.
And throw it the other way around. So number 1, I'm going to keep You Are Not Alone. Now keep in mind, guys, that the B, East, and West like ranking system was not done by me. This was done by Key. I'm just moving on from that. I accepted his positions, and I'm just going to make all of my adjustments going forward, week by week, based off of where people were initially.
That's fair.
So there might be some jumps in certain areas that may seem a little bit, but it's also me kind of applying what happened in the week and kind of my personal views on it to kind of get things where I think they should be for the most part. Anyways, You're Not Alone is number one. They took a forfeit versus Phoenix Rising Emerald, who did drop out of the league or this season. So they'll be gone, and so that's going to be one of the free matches for B West this season. But they did take a domination over the number 9 Spooky Ghost. Spooky Ghost coming back from a pretty miraculous playoff placement last season, where they were actually able to sneak in after some really after a really good win streak. They did get knocked out in the first round, but they still really made a good accounting of themselves. Number 8, a fitting place for them to be in, I think, and I think they kind of earned that spot jump up, but we'll get to that eventually. But You Are Not Alone, taking that domination. Again, not enough really to see them move anywhere at this point.
Yeah.
Phoenix Rising Onyx, similar thing. They also took a forfeit against their sister team, Phoenix Rising Emerald. So Phoenix Rising Onyx also did take a domination over Team Training Wheels. Again, a veteran B team is ranked at number 11. So given the fact that at the time, Phoenix Rising Onyx was placed significantly higher at number 4 at the time. It makes sense that they were able to secure the win there. But again, they've had 2 victories technically in the standings. They will be high up there. Not enough to say that they deserve to lose the spot that they're in. Number 3 is the biggest mover, Deviled Kegs. They took a 1-0 domination over the projected ranking of Soak Every Lane at number 2, who took a domination loss to them. So Deviled Kegs was sitting at number 5, I think, before in the last ranking. Number 6.
Yeah,
in the last rankings. So I did move them up 3 spaces. And this is based off of the fact that they did take up the number 2 team, and I think that they were placed a little bit lower than they deserve to be. Keep in mind, Deviled Kegs is the B West champion and did go up against Beast Coast in the finals. They may have lost a couple members, but I think they're still a huge force to be reckoned with, and will probably be one of the biggest threats in this division going forward. But we'll have to see. Lurk Patrol is another one, though, that I think everyone should be looking out for. I think previous C champions, or at least C West, they were very, very effective in that, and looking to start off pretty good with a domination over R1E, a veteran troop, in the B West division. So they're going to move up to number 4. Who knows Gaming took a 2-1 over Necrofin Murgles. And they played tonight against Team Training Wheels. So they did move down, but not because they didn't win, but just because I think certain movers should be probably placed a little bit higher than them. Both Devil Cakes and Lurk Patrol, I think, have a higher spot initially, and I do think that the wins that we saw from them do a lot more. Soak Every Lane did drop from the number 2 spot to the number 4. Now, to the number 6 for me. They did lose Devil Kegs, and I think it's a big drop, and they play against Lurk Patrol, so they're going to be going against some of the bigger hits in this division in particular, like the bigger teams that I expect to be very big movers here. And they did not manage to secure wins against Devil Kegs. So they're going to really need to secure some wins against Lurk Patrol at the very least. And we'll see. Hopefully they turn things around. Roll1 Esports was dominated by Lurk Patrol, which is where we get the first start out from them. But they did also take a 2-0 victory over Feigned Competence. So staying in there at a good, nice 1-1 spot. Good start to Roll1 Esports. They traditionally start slow, and then they usually get much better. Mm-hmm. Spooky Ghosts is 1-1. They also took a victory over Feigned Competence, but it was a 2-1. And were beaten, as we said before, by You Are Not Alone in a dominating fashion. which again, number one seed ranking kind of based off of the initial production. So maybe not the biggest surprise, but they did take a win over number 8, and that did move them up. So they went up one spot. Team Training Wheels dropped. They went up one spot, but not because of anything they did, but mostly because Feign Competence took some two hard matches to the number 9 seed and the number 7 seed. So they will move up just by virtue of that, but they do play tonight against Who Knows Gaming. So here's a chance for them to kind of change their stars. And Feign Competence went 0-2 this last, through the last round. So they're going to be at a lower spot. Hopefully they can start picking up some more than one win against number 9, ranked teams. If they can start picking up some victories, we'll see them move up the rankings. And that's going to be West.
Perfect. I couldn't have said it better myself, sir. Do you guys, Porky, Slexy, you guys got anything to add here?
Nope. Mm-mm. Not me. Mm-mm.
Porky, I assume that's a no from you, but you got your mic muted.
I don't have anything to add. I think that's perfect how it is.
So you're going to have something to add on Div D, though, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, good. All right, we're ready. All right, Ziltoid, why don't you give us... Same. Oh, come on, guys. Don't rebuttal me too hard. All right, Ziltoid, why don't you bring it down the Division B East this time?
Certainly. So starting off at number 1, we have Regen Phoenix making a 1-spot jump up in the rankings with a domination over the number 1 kind of projected team, which was Indecisive Scrubs. So they got a 2-0 domination. It was a clean set, and they definitely put themselves in that position handily. They also won a set against Phoenix Rising Ruby. Now, this was a 2-1, so Phoenix Rising Ruby did make them pause a bit. It was definitely a tough set. Definitely showing that these guys, despite moving down in the rankings this round, probably have a lot more to show in the future. They also dominated Squiggly's Wigglies last night.
I'm never going to be able to say that right.
Yeah, Skiggly's Wigglies. Sorry, I said that. Anyways, so they were able to take the domination there. So starting off the season strong with 3 solid wins to those dominations, that'll keep you up there. And good luck. Good job, Regen Phoenix. It's a great start to the season. They had a similar start to the season last season, but I'm hoping that they can hold that position a little bit longer. Next one, number 2, is going to be Jailbait. Also moved up 1 spot in the rankings. They also beat Skiggly's Wigglies in a 3-game series. So definitely Skiggly's Wigglies showing that they're not just completely, they're not out of this by any means. And they also beat the number 1 seed or ranked team, anyways, Indecisive Scrubs. In a 3 series. So Jailbait taking up 2 wins, fantastic, but dropping 1 win in each of those. Number 3 is going to be Salt Scale Murgles. They were defeated they defeated Party Time in 3 games. And then they also dominated Skiggly's Wigglies. So Skiggly's Wigglies getting 3 games in there, just like Regen Phoenix already in the first week and a half, basically, of season. It's pretty impressive. Demonic Entity Within took a domination over Chaos of the Waking Dragon, which is listed as the number 12 seed. So I didn't really see enough reason for them to move up, given the other 3 teams performing so well in the last week with 2 solid victories and 3 solid victories, respectively. Indecisive Scrubs was the biggest drop. They went down 4 spots, and that's what happens when you drop, your first and second games basically to the respective 1 and first and second seed in the league. But that's the point. They are taking on probably the toughest 2 teams right now, and potentially the third one, because I think Salt Sail Murgles is very, very good right off the bat. So if they can pick up some victories against kind of the lower seeded teams, they'll be able to start changing the look of the start of the season with the with them being so low at the moment. But yeah, 2 losses definitely do drop you from.
Oh, did he cut out?
You're muted.
Sorry, the next one is going to be Bugin Squad at the number 6 spot. Sorry, I got to get used to this. They dominated Bread Rising Yeast Sports, who were previously at a similar spot. So the fact that they were the number 11 seed and were able to beat the number 7 seed in a dominating fashion gives the indication that Bugin Squad is highly underestimated in the original power ranking. And they proved that in a dominating fashion in week number 1. We'll see if they can sustain it. There's definitely some tougher teams that they'll have to go up in this in this season.
And just to interject here really quickly, they were a Division D team 2 seasons ago. That's insane. And now they're like winning Division B. So good for them. Hopefully they keep it up, like you said.
If you've seen them play, they even when they were back in Div D, you could see that all they really lacked was experience.
Yeah.
The skill and the planning and everything else like that was there. And once they kind of got a little bit solid on their drafting, Bugin Squad just shot right up, and they've been a force in NGS ever since they entered it. And and they came into B, said, you know what, we're not going to be down here, and they took their first victory, and that's definitely something impressive in my book. We'll see if they can sustain it in this division. It is a tough division, so we'll see. Party Time was defeated in close 3 games by Salt Scale Murgles, which I think is a good thing on their side. Party Time, even taking 1 map off of Salt Scale, in my opinion, is actually a big move, because I think Salt Scale Murgles is one of the biggest threats in this division, flat out. So taking a game off of them, huge. Then they also went to dominate the Chaos of the Waking Dragon, which again is the 12th ranked team, and I haven't seen any proof from them yet to move them out of that position. But Chaos of the Waking Dragon did lose to both the number 4 and number 6 seed, so they definitely have a chance to start adding numbers to that. Tiny Dancers moved up 2 spots from the number 10 spot to the number 8 spot. They did get a forfeit win against PRR, which is Phoenix Rising Ruby. But they still have to play their first match. I moved them up not because of any merits on their own, but because of the failure of the other teams basically throughout this week. So we'll probably see them move around based off of how well or how poorly they perform this week. Phoenix Rising Ruby forfeited the first match and were defeated in 3 games by RGP. The fact that they took a map off of Region Phoenix, which I do think this season is one of the strongest teams, is a good indicator for them. So if they can show up to their matches, make sure they get them properly booked, we should probably start seeing Phoenix Rising Ruby be an actual force in this division. We saw Bread Rising Esports move down to number 10, which we've already kind of explained. They lost to Bugin Squad, so they kind of end up swapping positions. They'll be playing Demonic Entity Within on Thursday.
Yeah.
Skiggly's Wigglies, like I said, lost a close set to Jailbait. Were dominated by Skulkscape Murgles. Both of these, and dominated by Region Phoenix. But these are the top probably 3 teams, as my power rankings say, in this division. And they took a map off of Jailbait, which is a really good way to start. So I think we can see them start picking up some victories as well. And we've already kind of talked about Chaos of the Waking Dragon. So that's it for B East.
Perfect. All right. Slexi, do you have anything to add?
No.
All right. Let's move it right along, guys. Of course, later on in the show, we are going to have a segment about Edge questions. There's, of course, the Discord channel where people can post questions. But if you guys, the viewers, have any questions for us, go ahead and drop them down. Arthur and I was going to go ahead and take those down, send them to us, and we'll, if we like them, we'll make sure to ask them on air. Oh, and welcome back, Porky. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, I'm kidding.
Technical issues, but
not a problem.
Kitties.
There's some cats. Nice. All right, guys, let's move right along. I'm here. I'm going to be reporting on Division C. I'm going to start it out with Division C East. These rankings are not my own. They're being brought to you live by me, but from Mongoose. Mongoose, of course, did... Yeah, I know. A little confusing, I know. But yeah, these ones are Mongoose's rankings. So you can send them to mongoose@gmail.com and he will get your complaints, I'm sure.
It's just an actual mongoose, not
he's just saying that, so you can't blame him, guys.
You know what? I read him ahead of time, so I think he made some thoughtful predictions, or some thoughtful analysis here. So why don't we get right into it? Division C East, starting at the top, at the number 1 ranked team, it is 2 calculated 2 throw with a 6 rank jump. Now, there's a lot of jumping around early on in the season on Edge here. We more or less throw darts at the board and hope we get things right with our predictions. But moving up 6 is huge. They got a very close win over Regen Anomaly, and that's literally the difference between our number 1 and number 2 seed, of course, which is Regen Anomaly. So they have made some roster changes between last season and this season. Of course, Regen Anomaly was I think a bottom-ranked team. I think they barely beat out the Nexus Cats last season, but this season, we got them predicted at number 2. They dominated its first 2 matches before falling in a tight 2-1 series versus 2C, 2T. So they could definitely be a top contender in Division C East. That's why Mongoose throws them on up. Next 2, no change. House of Shay and Die for Vision are both going to stay right where they are. Moving on to our number 5 and number 6 rank. Our number 5 is going to be Calculated Throw Hanamura Drift. They move up 4 spots. They're a newish roster. They look solid in their 2-0 dominations versus a veteran team, Duratin's Couch. So yeah, anytime a new team is going to do that to an old team, they're gonna get some views here. So that bumps them up. Now number 6 is a big drop. They were previously ranked number 2. That's a Lubu. They were definitely considered a contender and probably still are towards the end of the season, but they got a bit of a surprise with the domination lost to Regen Anomaly. So definitely one of those hate to see it moments, but Lubu coming in right at the middle here. And oh wait, okay, so Caribou, sorry, I'm reading the chat here. Caribou says it's pronounced House of Shez.
We talked about this last season.
Is Caribou on the team?
Adopted Shay.
I thought it was Shay. Shay. Yeah, well, okay. If Caribou's on the team, obviously their word is better than ours.
Well, we like how sophisticated it sounds. So I don't know.
Caribou is a member. I've been asking for episodes on episodes. Finally, we're getting answers.
Well, we were told last season by Durtan's Couch Captain Wedge that it was pronounced on Nexus Edge.
Shay.
Well, this is a team member. I'm not going to deny this person.
Yeah, yes, I'm just telling you, our source was from Durtan's Couch. It was not from
Right. Well, thank you so much, Caribou, for stopping in. I don't think I've seen you in chat before.
Topic.
Yeah.
You gotta be in chat to make the correction.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Caribou, for stopping by and telling us that it is House of
Shay.
Chez.
Shay.
Oh my God.
House of Shay.
All right, moving right along. 3 rank drop each here for the next 2. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Moving up 3 is Deep Fried Ragnaros. I'm guessing they got a couple wins here. Going down 3 are both Duratin's Couch and Calculated Throw, coming in at 8 and 9. Illa Dancing
That feels
Queen.
like a heartstring pick for Mongoose.
What'd you say there? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry, bud.
I'm saying that it's like he's picking that from his heart.
Yeah, probably.
He likes the name.
Ooh.
Yeah. Illa Dancing Queen does get moved up. There are new rosters trying to find their footing, but it looks like they're moved up primarily because Please Clap and Wood League both have no games played. I'm guessing that's for week 1. Maybe they've played their games now. So that's our Division C East rankings. What do you guys think about those? Slexia, Ziltoid, anything?
I'm happy to see Region Anomaly up higher. I know that they, really put in a lot of work last season, and Carve, who is captain, has put in a lot to get the team motivated and get the right people on the roster. So when we first predicted last week with power rankings, they were really low. So it's awesome.
Yeah. And Arrow did say in chat, he said -10 for Wood League. They got no games played. It's hard to rank them, especially when other people do. Maybe Mongoose was thinking, I can't really rank them. They got to go to the bottom. We'll see what he does maybe next week if he does the rankings for Div C. If they get some games in, Wood League is a very good team. I suspect they'll be moving up. I don't know much about Please Clap, though, so we'll have to tune in to find out. These, of course, were subjective, amazing rankings based on the information that we had available. So there we go. Ziltoid, what about you? I didn't want to cut you off about your Division B rebuttal here.
No problem. Regen Anomaly, I agree. I think they were getting their footing at the end of last season, and which is what happens with every new team. So once they kind of started figuring out what they needed to do, they had a whole off season to kind of sort it out after the fact, and it's. I think we should expect to see a lot more from them. House of Ches is not going to have as easy a season this season. They've got a lot of contenders here in this division.
Yeah.
And they're going to be pushed hard. Die for Vision is good. Lubu is good. Wood League is good. Calculated Throw is good. But I think my biggest pick for this season, despite the fact that 2 Calculated to Throw definitely started, off strong this season, is going to be that CT Hannemer Drift. I think that is one of the best rosters I've seen built for C, and quite a few seasons. And not counting things like Tickle Me Tassadar from last season.
Yeah,
many people could argue that a lot of their members probably didn't belong in Division C.
And some people did argue that.
Yeah, for this season, I feel like a lot of these rosters make sense in the divisions that they're in. And CT Hannemer Drift looks like the best roster at the start of the season for me that we've seen fielded that fit within this division. So I expect a lot of good things from them, but they are new. So we'll probably see them stumble a little bit, but I'm really excited to see how well they do. Anyways, that's
very nice. Alrighty, I think we're ready to move on to C West. Let's go ahead and do that. So we got a little bit of I think Slexi is going to like this. For our number 1 ranked Division C West team, it's Clouded Minds.
Yes.
Moving on up. They started out with 2 dominations over 2 veteran teams, Piecemeal and Team Rainbow Strike Go. Now, looking at the division, I think Piecemeal and Rainbow Strike Go are probably going to wind up being in the middle of the pack. But still, getting dominations over those teams coming up from Division D, you love to see it. Put them at the top. Amen, brother. So that's where Mongoose puts them, right at the top. Coming in at number 2 with a 7 rank jump is Dat Tass, though. They picked up an impressive win against Can't Counterpick Stupid, which was a domination, and then also Arrogant Manepha-Limp. But that wasn't... not going to do that again. That was just a normal win, 2-1. So there we are. Rank number 3 is Piecemeal. That is a 4-point jump. So they actually already have 3 results in the books as of right now. Mods, of course, will be very happy with the flex scheduling that has been done. They had some tough sets versus Arrogant Nephilim and Clouded Minds, but those are 2 really good teams. However, they managed to pick up a point in the Arrogant Nephilim game, and they got a domination versus Vilefin Murgles. So, pretty solid.
I did cast that with Weenus.
Oh, did you? The Vilefin one?
Yeah, and Piecemeal.
Very nice. Very nice. Arrogant Nephilim going down here to number 4. Would tap that moving up to number 5. He says only one match. This is his team, isn't it? Yeah. Would tap that is Mongoose's team. He says only one match to look at, but was an impressive game 2 and 3 versus BTB. Better than bots. Was not impressive in game 1. Just reporting facts. So there we go. Can't counterpick stupid. I'm guessing moved down with a domination loss to Det Tasto. Better than bots, moving up 1. And then for these last 4 teams, I'll just name them first and then I'll explain it. 8th place, Vilephin Murgles. 9th place, Full Meta Jacket. 10th place, Rainbow Team Strike Go. And 11th, Tide Color Murgles. Mongoose says they're all 4 in the same boat. 1 result to base off of and getting O2'd by veteran teams. And that's, kind of what's going on here. So there you go. Yeah, I'm hoping that Full Meta Jacket can pick that up. I know the Nexus Cats were good friends with him. The captain, Jugger Rob, I think it is. Jugger Rob was on Nexus Edge last season, of course. So hopefully his team can pull it around and maybe get some rank points going into our Week 2 recap. But that's it. That's what Mongoose has to say about Division C West. What do you guys have to say?
I have something to say.
Oh, wait, hold on. Porky, coming in hot. What do you got?
I love can't. Oh my god, I can't speak. Can't counterpick stupid. I think they should be at least 5 or 4. I think they're a very strong team. Valkymer is a very strong tank player.
Yeah, they're a very strong team.
I'm not even sure. Yeah, I'm not even sure that. I think Valkymer has the skill level of like a Div B player.
Yeah,
and I think they should be rated higher. Yeah.
And, I think what's really weighing them down, we have very few results, and the results we do have, getting dominated by Dat Tasto, they obviously took last season off, but coming back, they're also kind of a veteran team, but that could be telling for their success here in Division C West. So we'll see. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Can't tell the future.
I think we'll see Full Meta Jacket move up as well. I'm pretty sure they're stronger.
They were dominating in Division D for a couple seasons here, so yeah, I would expect that.
And, I love Venus, I love Clouded Minds, but they can make some risky plays, and they've been playing together a long time, so I'm happy to see them at 1. I just know that that is a very volatile spot right now. It's not...
Yeah, this division's pretty volatile.
Yeah, it's going to be a roller coaster ride for a lot of these teams up and down these ranks.
Very nice. Ziltoid, anything?
I have a lot harder time picking winners this season than last season for Div C. And I think it's easy to see because we've got a lot of returning teams that all have potential to really perform well. CCS, of course, definitely taking out Full Meta Jacket is a good thing for them. Dat Task, though, finally kind of making their appearance from my, playoff prediction wins from a couple seasons ago, which didn't happen. Right. Hoping to see if they can continue it. But taking out both Arrogant Nephilim and CCS is a really big step in that direction. And they came out the gates swinging. Both CCS can be, and Arrogant Nephilim in particular, can be considered huge players in Division C. And actually quite surprised by Arrogant Nephilim's performance, not quite able to make it work against Piecemeal and Dat Tasto. But Dat Tasto I've always known is a really strong team, and Piecemeal is kind of one of my picks to be one of the strongest team in this division. So, yeah, I think where they are right now in the rankings is not where they'll stay, but it's a pretty good indication of what we can expect this season.
Very nice. Alrighty, moving right along. I'm going to give you the Division D East power rankings, all right? So this is, of course, my home division, so I'm going to see if I can wing it here. I have coming in at rank number 1, the Zul Gin Distillery. In week 1, they got a really good domination win. I think it was domination. Well, this is why you got to have notes, guys. This is why you got to have notes.
Oh, whose production value is failing right now?
Still going to blame Arthur now. Anyways, Zul'jin Distillery. Same. Yeah, right, of course. Already, Zul'jin Distillery got a domination. It was, of course, off of one more fight. They're a newer team, so we kind of expect that, but I'm still going to bump them up, primarily because Probius actually took a loss. They took it to I Must Feed, who I did have ranked previously at number, 5? What's going on here? Oh, never mind. Arthur was just saying, what? I don't want that. Yeah, Probius lost to I Must Feed. One map. So I bumped them down. It's going to be volatile at the top here for a little bit. I think just because, we don't have many games, but it is what it is. Church of Murky, I moved up 3 spots coming in at our 3rd ranked team. They got a 2-1 win over E-Light. That's the team. So it wasn't a domination, but definitely still a win. And I tried to do my best to keep week 1 results reporting here and ranks based on week 1 results, but they did dominate the Nexus Cats. Spoiler alert. So they did get a bit of a bump from that. I think I underestimated them in my initial rankings anyways. So
wait, Church of Murky dominated you guys?
I don't want to talk about it, okay?
I do. Okay, fine.
No, it was so that's a week 2 result, but yeah, they did dominate the Nexus Cats. We had 2, I think our first match was pretty close, but our second one was a blowout. They did a very good job. And we knew, we know who they are. They're a very good team. We've played them several times. And I just think that they kind of got our number. And I think they do that to a lot of teams in this division. So they got a big bump here. Frankfurters is also going to get a big bump here. They're going up into number 4. I think I also underranked them a little bit. They're getting a 2-1 here against a newer team, Game of Throws. Now, it was initially a domination, but I believe that there was some issue with start time, so this was given a 2-1. Game of Throws, of course, is a newer team, but Frankfurter's definitely put on a show, definitely worth. Dallying Pigs in chat, he says, we lost the map because of forfeit, so that's what's up there. Nexus Cats, I'm dropping down 1. I think, we lost 1 map to Phoenix Rising Amethyst, and of course, we got dominated by Church of Murky. Seems good. Bancho was on a bye for week 1, so they just moved forward because that's what I say. And then,
cool.
Yeah, okay. Well, good. All right. And then, I Must Feed is going to move down 2. I had a lot of high hopes for them, and they've definitely put on a show. They took a map off of Probius. I think they've also taken a map off of. Oh, who did they take a map off of? Zul'jin Distillery. So those are 2 teams that I obviously rank very highly, and 2 teams that I think will be in the top, at least top half, if not top quartile. And they took maps off them. That's what you need to see from a new team in the division, and I think that's going to keep them here. So that's it. Rest of them, 8, 9, 10, 11, have not changed. Phoenix Rising Amethyst, Game of Throws, Team E-Light, and one more fight. They all kind of had some losses. Phoenix Rising had a map win, so they, of course, get a little bump, but they're still already there. Game of Throws, of course, getting that the forfeit win, so I think everything should stay where it's at, basically, for those bottom 4. So that's it. Slexia, you had something for Division D. What's up?
What? What did you say?
I'm sorry. Did you have anything for Division D?
I sure do.
Awesome.
Herder.
Oh.
And it's interesting because last night I casted you guys against Game of Throws, and I feel like it's a very interesting rank you've put yourselves at. The team I saw last night was very coordinated, that even chat was like, are these teams even? Now, I know Game of Throws is new, but I mean, it's Nexus Cats. Come on.
We've been here before.
I mean, weren't you Div C last season? Now you're D. Why are you in 5th place here?
We got dominated. That's what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Well, everyone needs that. Needs a beating to rise up once in a while. So I don't know. That's just I just feel like you're underestimating yourself here.
I appreciate it. I definitely try and do my best to not bias push me up. Maybe that works the exact opposite, but I think if I'm looking at end of season based on what I've seen from us and from other teams so far, because I do watch other teams. I'm watching you.
Yeah.
I think we're going to land probably right in that 3, 4, 5 spot. Would be my guess.
Interesting.
So us being in the 5th right now is
interesting.
Okay. All right, Ziltoid, Porky, you guys got anything to say about this?
Not
A
really.
lot of new teams in Division D, I would say. Like just a lot of teams.
So I'm staking out a position here. Division D East is incredibly competitive at the top. I think the top 8 teams are all going to be contenders. And I think they're all going to be fighting for every single one of those spots. And playoffs are going to be a lot of fun out of this division. So there's that. So Boggs does say, bump those cats up. The Frankfurters are trash. Not my words. Those are his words. I don't know. No, that's Boggs is, of course, on the team. I'm not being mean to them. So there we go. All right, guys. I don't have much else to say about Division D East. Anyone else?
Nexus Cats #1.
Oh, well. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, boys.
It's a heckin' nice thing to say.
What a heckin' nice
Porky.
thing. Really heckin' nice. All right. No, this is just my work shirt. I don't have a jersey on. I got a jersey back there, though. Oh, man, my bike's...
In chat, no. Arthana is asking him to take his shirt off. So
I got it right here.
Okay.
Ooh.
There we go.
Oh, it's on my mic. Let's fix that. So there's that. And then, of course, this is my favorite part. Why I can't bring it into the office. Because it has my real name.
Just put a blazer over it.
Yeah, no one will know. So... Anyways, moving on to D West. This one should be quick, guys. I don't have a lot of changes out of D West. Wasn't a lot of round 1 matches being played for one reason or the other. But out of the ones that did, the only change I have is at the very, very tippy top. And I know I saw Dax and I saw Darth Cherrywood. Please don't hurt me, guys. Rank #1 is going to be Bloodfin Murgles. And rank #2 is Waiting on Cherry. I put him down a little bit. I'm so sorry. But hear me out. Hear me out, guys. So looking at the week 1 results only here. Bloodfin Murgles had a domination versus the Baddest Dudes. The Baddest Dudes, I think, are going to be a very top-tier team. I currently have them ranked at #4. So that's pretty incredible. Waiting on Cherry, however, they had a 2-1 win over Bloodbath and Beyond. Still a win, still very good, but they lost a map. Literally the difference, the reason why I switched, I flip-flopped them, was a map loss to a high-ranked team versus domination against a high-ranked team. That's it. I think these are, if the rankings keep up the way they have, I think this is going to be very contentious at the top. And that's why I haven't changed anything for the rest of it. So I'll just go on down. Rank 3, Bloodbath and Beyond. Rank 4, The Baddest Dudes. Rank 5, Psy Storm. Rank 6, Randy Newman. Rank 7, Ghost of Yavapai County Municipal Youth Chess Club and Swim Team. Number 8, We the Papegas. Number 9, The Tibians. Number 10, The Spoilers. And of course, Tryhards have withdrawn. Psy Storm got a forfeit win against the Tibians. You hate to see that from a new team. Hopefully they can get their scheduling down. And Randy Newman got a domination against Spoilers, but as a new team, I don't have high hopes for them just yet. So even though it's a domination, I didn't think that it really warranted potentially moving them up. I didn't personally watch that match, so maybe I'm wrong. I know Darth Cherry and Dax, you guys are here. Let me know if maybe that match was something I should have watched and the domination was really, really handled. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. So, what do you guys think?
I still love the name We the Papegas. Also, I'm curious specifically about waiting on Cherry. Like, is that a person? Is that
it's Darth Cherry? They're always waiting on him, is what I understand. Or they were in an interview on Saturday, a post-game interview, and that's where the name came from.
That's awesome. Hit him with stats. No. Just kidding. You want me to? Nah.
Very nice. Ziltoid, anything? Porky, anything?
We the Papegas should be number one. All I'm saying. Best name.
Is it on name alone?
We the Papegas.
Not name alone.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone please tell me when their next match is. I need to cast it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll co-cast it with you.
Thank you, Porky. You and I together.
There you go. Ziltoid, what about you? What do you think about Division D West?
I don't know. Plenty of returning teams, some new ones for sure. Like I said, not a lot of games played. It's kind of hard to really make any major assessments or adjustments. And I assume your ranking has plenty of good reason behind it. I would have probably been picking Bloodbath and Beyond for a high placement, but they had a lot of roster changes, so it's really hard to place them at this moment. They're almost kind of in a team, and Randy Newman is definitely one of those teams, but they're one of those teams that they only seem to perform really well against good teams. So it's almost like the state of the teams in the division will determine how well Randy Newman does.
Boy, that's a paradox there.
So like they'll do good if they're playing against good teams that challenge them. It's weird, but I honestly feel that that's how that team really works. But anyways, that's all I got for D West this week. Anyways, we'll see about next week.
Perfect. I think there was a lot more round 2 matches. I think some of those round 1 matches got played in round 2. So we'll have a little bit more to talk about D West next week on Nexus Edge. All right, guys, that is it for the power rankings. We're going to move on into our last segment, which is going to be Edge questions. We're also going to talk a little bit about the game of the week. We also have one from DeWitt. He's got a game of the week for y'all that he thinks you guys should watch. He's, of course, Season 7 writer. Also, I do want to point out, we have top 5 highlights. We're gonna have those right at the end of the show. We're gonna sign off, and then we're gonna leave you with the top 5 highlights and rage on over to Moist Weenus, who I think is casting. Is he casting
Perfect Gems versus
World Hunger Team Avoidance? World Hunger Avoidance Team.
Time to feed.
The game might be over by the time we get done.
Well, let's pick up the pace then. Come on, Porky.
Hustle.
Let's go.
I haven't. You guys are the one taking so long.
Well, you're gonna blame me now. Wow.
All
right, guys.
Like that.
Yeah. All right. No, it is my fault. I apologize, guys. Here we, of course, have the NGS Game of the Week, casted by, of course, our favorite caster, Murda. And it's going to be this week, Deathwing Hookah Lounge versus Minion Miners. It's Division B East. Ziltoid, right? Yep, he nods. That's good. I don't know what time it is. Production value. He looks like he might be trying to fix it. It's going to be over at... It's 8:30 Central Time, so that's 9:30 EST tomorrow on this very channel. So go ahead and check that out tomorrow, and you'll be good to go.
And no, it's Div A.
Div A. Okay. Sorry. Division
A.
Div A.
Div A.
Perfect. All right, guys, let us move into Edge questions. We got a couple questions here. I'll keep it kind of short. All right, I'll give this one from Lulu. I really like this question. Does having synergy between your hero skin and your hero mount improve performance? And why is the answer
this
yes?
one right away? This right away.
Oh, this is a good question. Go ahead, Selexia.
This is something I'm passionate about.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Skinergy, as it's named
in the business
gives you the boost you need, the confidence boost beyond your skill to really show off. Nothing like a spray that matches your mount, that matches your skin.
Oh yeah.
To really show off how amazing you are. So I forgot the question, but Skinergy is paramount. I almost considered starting to talk about it while casting. Not Paradox and I did a Skinergy contest before. And it's something that's close to my heart. So, yeah.
The doctor in chat says you basically lose the game if you don't Skinergize.
100%.
That's fair. I think that's a good, that's 100% fair.
Yeah.
100% of my losses.
Like, we don't allow Smurfs in NGS, so there's no reason to not have your finest Skinergy.
Yeah.
Like, if someone's playing on an alt account, you're like, I only have the basic skin and the pleb horse. I can't. Like, that's different. Like, come on. Show us your gilded rooster mount with your, various golden skin. Show us your... Anyway, you get the point.
I'm all about it.
Help with Skinergy, reach out to me. I don't want to see any ugly Skinergy.
So actually, I'm gonna post this question to you, and guys, feel free to respond if you think her answer is incorrect. I feel like it's going to be correct, but what is your stance on mount Skinergy and team-wide mount synergy? Right. So Dalling Pig says his whole team rocks the Flirty Cloud.
Flirty Cloud is probably one of the best mounts, and sometimes it can override, how hideous it looks with the skin you've chosen, just because it's amazing. That's what I'm trying to say. But I feel like teams can, synergize with their portraits, and synergizing your mounts is fine, but I don't know. It might be cool to just show off how flashy you are. I think it's an exception, though. If you're playing a match, all members are on the mount. Like, it's okay. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the answer. That's the hot. Would you agree, Porky?
Oh, yeah. If all of your team has the exact same mount, that automatically boosts your chances of winning.
It does.
He's in heroic.
That's why I win so many of my games.
Yeah, and that's why Storm League is hard to get wins, because no one has the same mounts.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Facts. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this question up. Arthur now says, time to move on. We're going to ask this last question here. And this one I think is primarily for Porky, but I think everyone's going to have something to say on it. It comes from our buddy Velcomer. He says, what impact have you seen for the XP globes for our little league? I'm guessing that can pretty much just be a question about what's the impact of XP globes so far.
Okay, so I guess I'm addressing this one.
Yeah, you're going to start it. We'll rebuttal if we need to.
So I think the idea behind the XP changes was for people to be more proactive in the 4-man and in the solo lane. I think the solo lane was becoming really stale, where people would just sit around and freeze the wave and AFK in lane for like the first 3 minutes. I've had that happen in my Heroes type games before. I've literally gone to get food while that was happening. It's really
You're a mad lad.
Yeah, I guess. And I guess they wanted the solo lane to be more dynamic, so now people just have to step up. And it's also really interesting in the 4-man, because having, say, like, a ranged hero, you're in the mid lane, your team's bottom, and you have to step up to get the XP. It's really scary to say, like, I'm a ranged assassin, and I have to step up to get a globe when I don't know where the enemy Garrosh is. That's really scary.
Yeah.
And I think it just adds another, like, depth. Vision control is much more important than I think it was. Don't get me wrong, vision control was very important before this, but it's even more important now, especially if the enemy team has, like, an Uther or a Garrosh where you can just get CC chained to death in under a second.
So definitely big changes if you're a ranged DPS, maybe a squishier hero. Mm-hmm. I know I've seen some people, you can't leave not that this was ever optimal strategy, but you can't leave your support kind of in a bush just waiting around soaking. They have to be in danger.
Mm-hmm.
So
it fits my playstyle perfectly. As a support main, I just have to run in there. I do it anyways, so I guess it's doesn't really change much.
Makes you better. Makes you more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Zilton, what about you? What do you think about these XP changes?
I mean, more interaction in the game is never a bad thing. I don't think it makes a huge difference to the teams that were already doing the proper things in lane and in rotation all that much. You do have to be a little more strategic about who you send to go pick up that extra experience in an off lane. But the good teams already made sure they drafted heroes that were safer to do that in the first place, and they didn't let the other ones go and do that in those situations. So I think from a competitive standpoint, while it adds a little bit more fun, like you said, for the solo laners, everyone else, and from a competitive standpoint, I don't think it'll be that much. It also makes it more visually available to weaker teams of the experience they are missing, though. So I think like as the skill goes up, it becomes less relevant, but as it's lowered down, it becomes a bigger deal. And you could say it definitely in solo queue, I've been able to really kind of abuse this really badly because so many people in solo queue don't
know what's up.
Weren't already soaking experience properly.
Right.
Now they're really not soaking experience properly. So if you're just that much better at soaking experience than they are, you can almost make any hero work. Like you can win games on the stupidest draft hero just because you're smarter at grabbing experience in a lane. It's weird, but
if it works, it works, man.
From a competitive standpoint, it's not that. It has a cool interaction, but I don't think it changes the state of the game drastically.
I like the dings.
I think it changes the state of the game, honestly.
Go ahead.
Because if you're at a deficit, it's really hard to come back from that. That is, I've seen it in playing on my own. I've seen it casting. Like, if you don't grab that, the other team does. Like, good luck coming back.
Yeah. Now, that was always the case in Heroes.
I was going to say, yeah. I did, to what extent
that it's more visually impactful, and now teams that don't understand the experience mechanics at all will be punished harder for it.
You have to get
the teams that did understand it are going to have an easier time. But I don't know if it, like I said, it's
change. More severe now.
But it doesn't. It's not. I don't think it's a drastic change.
It is. I do.
Yeah. So
it is.
You have to get closer to the XP globes now.
Yeah,
and that's a problem for heroes like Abathur. Abathur got a huge nerf to this patch. It's actually insane. It's really hard to get XP globes. I think there was a clip on fan stream where he was heading a tower and he literally couldn't get the minion XP.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Porky was talking about like having to get your
Abathur forever. So I'm not all that.
It is rough to come back, especially if someone does know how to freeze a lane or bring a lane to their towers. You just like I was playing Lunara, right? And I had to get some XP squishy against a Varian. And then, let's say a Garrosh comes up and you're dead.
Bye.
Toodles,
Toodaloo.
I played a Storm League game and we drafted 2 like heavy tanks. I was like, okay, GG in my head, like one of the toxic people, GG, but we won because those physical bodies were in the lane to be able to get that experience. And that's why I think it is a noticeable impact. And it is much, much more, the anomaly is not the same as just, oh, that's how it was before. It's a huge difference.
Alrighty, I think that's all the time we have for Edge questions. Last little segment here is going to be DeWitt's hype for Game of the Week. So this is he's of course a former writer. I think he had to take a little bit of a step down this season. He's got a lot of stuff going on, but he did want to help out. And one of the ways that he wanted to help out this season was he wanted to tell us a little bit about what he thinks the game to watch is going to be this week. And I think he picked the good one for this week. It's, of course, going to be Wood League versus Die for Vision. That's going to be on Arrow's stream at 8:30 p.m. CST tomorrow. So that's going to be at the same time as the NGS Game of the Week. But here's what he has to say about it. So he says that it's a rematch from the Season 7 Division C East playoffs. Of course, the number 7 Die for Vision last season knocked out the number 2 Wood League. in a dramatic 2-1 victory in the first round of the playoffs. A lot of people, he says, a lot of analysts, including himself, had Woodley tanking the whole division. So to lose out in the first round was pretty big. And this should be a matchup for the ages. He says, so far this season, Die for Vision has taken their only match as a domination. Woodley has yet to play due to a week 1 bye. But this should be a good measuring up point for both these teams to see where they stack up against their competition. So that's what DeWitt has to say about his game of the week. I tend to agree with him. I think it's going to be a good one. I think you guys also would agree, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Porky, you can't disagree with this either. He's muted, but he said he can't.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, even though I would like to have every game that I play be game of the week, I have to give it up for this one.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's the show. That's it. We're wrapping it up here. Of course, stay tuned, because right after I wrap it up, Arthur and I was going to go ahead and show us those highlights of the week. So we're going to have 5 highlights that you can watch, and then once those are done, we're going to go ahead and raid Moist Weenus' stream for the conclusion of the Perfect Gems versus World Hunger Avoidance. Excuse me.
Excuse you. Bless you.
Oh, wow.
You are excused.
Thank you. For the ending of the Perfect Gems versus World Hunger Avoidance team. So without anything more to say, I would like to thank all of the panelists today. Of course, thank you to Porky for spending time with us on this Wednesday evening.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to plug? Any matches coming up, or
we have a match
media?
tomorrow at, I think, 8 CST, 9 EST, casted by the Mark Zombie. So,
Mark Zombie! He's in chat. He'll appreciate the plug. I know he will. He's a good buddy of mine, and Arthanaus. He's on our team. He's a good friend.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I know him. I know that guy. Thank you to Ziltoid, of course. Thank you, bud. Thank you to Slexia.
No, thank you, as always.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
This is
no.
Guys, let me say goodbye.
Shout out to Volk's mom. I have to do that for Wono, my former teammate, ex-panelist, and good friend.
Of course. Shout out to Volk's mom, everyone.
Shout out
with
to
that,
Volk.
This is Turd Herder here saying adios, amigos. Remember to always stay safe in the Nexus and take your hots to the edge.
Dominance. Oh, poking at the turret.
He's gonna give up the objective though. He's got to get back on. All right, he's back on now.
He's right back in. He's looking for the jukes. He's trying to get him away from the turret so he can do some damage. And no, get back on the point. Let's see what happens. The turret's gonna expire for both sides.
He's just got to give it up. He's got to.
He is. I mean, no one else but Lucio can get in it.
Wow. Porky.
Wait. If I'm PRA, they do have a lot of boss kill damage. If they get in on this, they've got the Tannis and Vala. So right now the damage is coming out onto Vala, so she's in a lot of danger there. The bunker.
The quintuple. Whoa, the bunkie. That's 5 flamethrowers on one Genjiri boy. And Vala's actually the next one to die. That was definitely.
Wait.
Clear how it's affecting the game. But that said, Vala a little bit ISO'd. Skig on the backline trying to go for Vala. ETC power slides in now. Galaxy a bit separated, but so is ETC. Smitty stepping up. Galaxy is low. Looks like for the time being the upper hand's there. There's the jet charge, but Galaxy misses, gets no stun, and that's going to turn into 2 kills with the taunt. No, but the turnaround kill there, and Fragisteller's popping off now. 3v3 on the point. Smitty does not sell out for the Vala kill. Calthon still on the point, trying to go for that Lily. Lily does go down, but Sylvanas now trying to trade. Sylvanas gets the kill. There's the taunt. Varian's going to secure it, and it's going to be Skiggly's Wigglies winning an absolute bloodbath on this point. This hollowed ground, this point A on Volskaya.
Web Weavers were, you know, a little bit back here. Big taunt onto the Orphea, getting the knockback. The Ring of Frost misses Orphea, but a huge mosh pit is going to hit 3. Big combustion, keeping them all locked down in this massive eternal feast. DeWitt looks like he may survive. Never mind the taunt, the jet propulsion. And that's going to be a 3rd kill here coming out for one more fight. Fantastic play. Make it a 4th kill. Only Leoric surviving. 20 gems sitting there in the Web Weavers were, you know, a little bit back here. Big taunt onto the Orphea, getting the knockback. The Ring of Frost misses Orphea, but a huge mosh pit is going to hit 3. Big combustion, keeping them all locked down in this massive eternal feast. DeWitt looks like he may survive. Never mind the taunt, the jet propulsion, and that's going to be a 3rd kill here coming out for one more fight. Fantastic play. Make it a 4th kill. Only Leoric surviving. 20 gems sitting there in the Web Weavers were, you know,